What is up, YouTube? It is Drex. I am back with another video. So my guy Picado had put a video out yesterday. He uploaded a video. He asked, have you ever experienced a video game burnout? And I'm going to respond with yes, I have experienced a video game burnout. So I was a sophomore in high school, and I had a friend. I wasn't too close with him around the time he left this world, but he ended up passing on. He was very young. He was 18 and I was 15 at the time. He was a little older than me, but he was a childhood friend. I grew up with him. I played a lot of games with him. The Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Yeah, we went through almost every generation of games with each other. We played, a lot. I hung around, spent a lot of time with these guys, him and his twin brother, throughout most of my childhood. So when he passed on, it drove me nuts because I did not know how to adapt to certain things. Because like whenever I play games like Mortal Kombat, or whenever I play like Tekken, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai. Hell, even Blinks or the Conker's Bad Fur Day multiplayer, we would play that through split screen locally. I didn't feel the same enjoyment I felt when he was alive, and it made me feel weird in a lot of ways. Honestly, that I went as far as distancing myself from gaming. I remember even like giving all my Xbox 360 away, and my 360 games. That's why I don't have any 360 games in my collection, because it drove me nuts. I even ended up giving away my PlayStation 2 games because it made me feel weird. I think the only games I had left throughout the rest of my time in high school was probably my PC games. I happened to get my hands on the original Xbox because a friend and his dad had an extra one that they gave to me, along with some games that they weren't playing, and yeah, I played the hell out of those later on. This is like a few years after he passed. I think I was going into my senior year of high school, I believe. Junior or senior year. I can't think of right away. And by the way, when I'm telling this story, I'm not asking for sympathy or people to feel sorry for me. I'm just going off on what I was going through with this burnout. So I'm not saying, I don't want people in the comments saying, oh, poor you, sorry about your loss. Nah, none of that. Please. I beg of you. But I felt when I was playing the Xbox, it brought me back a little bit, but it wasn't enough to get me going with games. It was just something that settled me during the meanwhile dealing with depression, and dealing with loss. So it didn't really satisfy me. I still had the same enjoyment with playing on the OG Xbox, and it kind of brought me back in a little bit, but it wasn't enough until later on I started buying more games for it, and I started playing games like Breakdown. I started playing games like the Chronicles of Riddick game, the Evil Dead. I can't think of it. I don't know what that game is called, but I know it's an Evil Dead game. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. And Kung Fu Chaos. I enjoyed those games. It kind of brought me back to life. And I remember I thought I had gotten rid of my PlayStation 2, but I found it in my closet, and I actually didn't get rid of all my PlayStation 2 games like I thought I did, because I found a case of... I didn't save the cases for my games back then. I had them like all in a big disc case, something like this. Yeah. So I found my Ratchet and Clank games, True Crime, Streets of New York, and a lot of other games, and I started playing those, and it started to bring me back to why I enjoyed games so much. But I think what was the final hitter for me, and this is later on when I got off into college, 2014. This what brought it took a long time. So yeah, this was like it started in 2008, and it took all the way up to 2014 for me. So 9, 10, 12, 14, 15. It took like 7 years. Yeah, about 6-7 years for me to start actively playing games again, and this is why I'm going up to this now, because when I bought Final Fantasy VII on PC, I remember how much joy that game used to bring me and my cousin who owned that game on PlayStation 1. How we just put countless hours into that game, and excuse me, when I started playing that game again and beating it and just going through doing all the challenges and killing all the weapons and stuff, defeating all the weapons and getting all the extra armor and everything I needed, summons and whatnot. I remember how much I enjoyed these games so much, and it reignited my passion for gaming. I went as far as buying PS3 again. I'm not buying PS3. I never owned a PS3 at the time, but I bought a PS3. I started playing through the Metal Gear Solid series. I started playing through Resident Evil. I started to feel the excitement and joy that I once had as a kid when video games came out. And nowadays it still brings me joy, even with newer games, even though I don't think, and this isn't like me saying that retro games are better than newer games. It's just that the retro games brought me more joy. It still brings me more joy than the newer ones we get. Though I'm still a big fan. Don't come at me in the comments. I'm just talking about how I honestly feel. But yeah, I from time to time I still go back and play retro games. Like I put in Ridge R4 Ridge Racer. I hope I'm saying it right. Ridge Racer Type 4, I believe. I will play the hell out of that game, and it brings the joy from me. It brings me so much joy how I used to play that demo all the time and see that intro. It brings a lot of nostalgia out in me. So yeah, it sucked for a long time. Honestly, just like playing games for a long time because of dealing with the death of a friend and dealing with depression. But it helped me. At the same time, I think I needed that burnout for me to appreciate gaming for what it really is. And see, this is like I'll say in my videos, like even the videos where I criticize Xbox and whatnot for certain things. It's not that I don't hate Xbox. It's me criticizing them because I've seen them. I know what they're capable of doing, and I know they can do that because Xbox has brought me joy. It helped lift me up during my darkest times, in my life. So I'm not complaining about. I've been critical, but it's not me saying they suck. I don't believe that. In my honest opinion, I will always consider myself a console gamer first before anything. Before I even consider myself a PC gamer, I appreciate consoles the most. I love consoles the most. So yeah, have you experienced a video game burnout? Let me know in the comments, or do a video reply to me. So yeah, just let me know. This is Drex. I'm out.